Does that have to be the day before or 24 hours? God, do you know, Ron, this is going to break your heart. Last night, I knew that I was going to need to miss today. I couldn't because I didn't want to wake you up. It was late. And I didn't want to disturb you.
And that's my kitchen back before, before changing around.
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, it's not 24 hours. You said the day before, though.
Let's see if I can.
For 3 years, a mother who's wondered who fired the deadly shot that took her daughter.
Now she hopes this bold new message could give her the answer she needs. Laverne McGee now with her story, first on Fox.
We'll cut them off. That's just the TV. We're fast forwarding to, I think, is it 1981?
Yeah, because the other ones are probably in the car. Yeah. Which is locked.
Hot in here, Aaron.
I think I'll be close. Where's the temperature gauge? Should I turn it up or what?
Open the windows or something.
Here, we'll open this. Hey, look, the temperature doesn't even work.
Thank you.
It rained, didn't it? Huh.
Not yet.
Okay. Now, tell me that again, Sal, before you're so brutally stopped off.
Sorry,
I don't know if I can regain myself.
Well,
We'll start over, okay? Okay. Got by the French car. As a salesman could see the guy's going, hey, for the car, I'm real proud of it. Real nice, and the French guy's going, and here's the key, sir, and we'll take care of the slightest detail immediately. Okay? Next scene, the guy's hauling it in a record, raised on it. He's standing in the showroom like that with his look on, he's got a trench coat on, a hat. His car's being hauled in, And this time, the salesman is on the phone. Yeah. Look. He talks to the guy who bought the car. Look, we got 100 cars out there with all kinds of problems. Bonjour. But you got to see this guy. With the face like this. You're the viewer, and you'd see it like this. Look, we got 100 cars out there with all kinds of problems. Bonjour. That's good. It's an actor. What? Oh, that sounds good. What was he selling?
Commercial?
Ronald or something. This is for Astro.
I've seen that.
Then they got all kinds of good commercials on the TV. The one about the taco, that's great. Yeah.
The taco?
You're with a moving camera and you walk into different places on the street, different eating places like a hot dog place, chicken place, stuff like that.
Keep people from drinking just reduces the urge.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be successful. Let's see. Oh yeah, Monique is all dressed up too. We're just like scrounging around, and Monique's got she looks like Santa Claus. She looks like Christmas. Got the red and the white with the thing. And she's told us a story, which is on this tape. She told us a story that she was actually kidnapped in Japan and sold into white slavery. Wouldn't that be terrible? Oh, and did you see the clutter in the kitchen? Some things never change. She's really getting shit kicked out of her.
Something that's worth $300. Who owns this device which is worth $300? Well, I think they own it.
Across Indiana and Ohio.
We're having a fight over that rabbit. That first rabbit that I sold to Mystery Funhouse. I put it in a case, and it became a big lawsuit, and that's what I was so mad about. We're having some kind of a problem with it. There was a lawsuit. They were forcing me to go to court to testify, and again, it's just problems, It's like most of my time was spent on problems instead of getting to create stuff.
Yeah, Mystery Funhouse. Was that castle place?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up on, what was that highway we were on where the hotel's at?
International Drive.
Yeah, okay. I thought that might be it, because they had a retrofit Chuck E. Cheese show before.
Oh, well, now it might be something different then what you're talking, because Mystery Funhouse isn't there.
Yeah, this place is like all trashed out. It hadn't been open in a few years. We went by it, and I was wondering if that was it.
Yeah,
Because I wonder, I have tried to figure out what happened to that show.
Uh-huh.
I have tried, I tried doing my homework and trying to figure out what happened to it, and it's because it's a retrofit Chuck E. Cheese half-body show.
Uh-huh.
And I never could track it down.
Huh. Well, that might be it.
I was wondering if it was, because I knew it looked like a castle, and this place has obviously been closed for a couple of years, so I was wondering if that was what we went by.
Well, and now here we are at this point on the tape. I'm trying to get Monique to do this skit that we had written. We're just trying to feel her out, see how she's going to do the skit. Remember, again, this is before Shalisa came along, so...
Oh, crazy. I get crazy. You're just really going to lay it on us now. You're getting real self-confident there. Okay. Hey, you know that guy? Mitzi gets crazy.
I'm doing beach
Okay, fast. That directly cues fast. You know that guy? Mitzi gets crazy.
Why don't you tell us about one of these walks on the wild side, El Barbaro?
Well, when I walk in my house, I call my kitty cat like this. Flower, flower.
Oh, God. Is that it?
Oh, no. Sometimes I call her Molly Pop Muffin.
Come on.
Wow, really, boy, it's bizarre, huh? What do you think? Lunacy abound. Yeah, I'm going to have her locked up. She gets angry there.
I guess it comes from being in theater. Say, what's next, guys? Song, skit, musical? Oh, I love musicals. Shall I dance?
Let's follow.
Yeah, well,
Ladies choice.
oh, what do you say, guys? It's ladies' choice.
Well, are you guys ready to settle down and do something serious?
Yeah, Mitzi, I believe we've gotten a little too crazy up here. Why don't you bring it back down to earth, old craziness?
Okay,
You old lunatic.
here's the song
You crazy barnacle head.
about love and honor. Drums, please.
All right. Okay. Now I gotta get back. At the schedule. That's a good one. Yeah, it's that was much better reading. Well, I shouldn't say reading, because reading is what we don't want. It's kind of read. I think especially if you can memorize them, you can,
That isn't a problem. I will always pass this. I will always have this in front of me.
well, see, think of it this way. If you were acting in a film or something, you have to memorize the lines.
Yeah, but for this it's just better. I'm less likely to make a mistake.
But that's
Well, you got-
Everybody works differently.
I know, but what I'm trying to get at is if you play,
Howard T sitting
you had
there.
to memorize lines, and you had to, act. You couldn't have the paper.
No.
Well, you can have the paper here in front of the microphone because nobody can see that.
Right.
But we'd like you to just use it as a reference, but we want you to act the line as if it was done spontaneously on stage. People can hear a reading.
Well, what do you think I'm trying to do? It doesn't matter if it's the
I know you're trying to do that. I know you're trying to, I know. But just realize that, I know you're not trying to be read. I don't think that. I think that, as soon as you can wean yourself from it and have it memorized, I think you'll naturally just spill it out. It'll just flow better. I don't know.
Well, I think what it is y'all wanted, actually, you wanted a delivery, you wanted Mitzi to be me, but you are actually changing me. That's in essence what you're doing. You're not really totally satisfied with me, my personality as Mitzi. Okay, because of my delivery, because the way I, you know.
Well, what we
that's what
like-
I think that. I really think that's a lot of entertainment.
What?
I don't think you're completely satisfied with my personality for Mitzi. Because there's so many
I don't
changes
think
in like delivery or whatever.
I don't think you've captured your personality. I'm happy with your personality for Mitzi. And if someone else, if you were not a performer, and someone else had to perform, we'd still choose your personality for Mitzi, but we'd just teach her your personality. Really? Yeah, in my bathroom, in the medicine cabinet, on the bottom shelf. That's the bottom shelf? Yeah. Oh, I ain't getting medicine cabinet. Frog's in there doing unnatural things to himself.
Oh.
He stumbled on my Playboy collection. Can you get the gist of the line and just deliver a line? You know, like the way I'm doing it. Every time I do it, I do it a little different.
I'm so regimented. I prefer to have something that is set. I really do. Most everything that I have ever done is once in a while, like when I have to do things with the audience, naturally you play off of them, everything has to be ad lib, which is a totally different situation, and it is not taped. It does not have to be perfect, okay? And if I totally screw it up, it doesn't make any difference anyway. They're having a good time. This is not like that to me, and I would prefer to have set lines and set words because it is being taped.
Yeah, but it might come out sounding canned.
Wow, she's just
She's just not getting it, is she? I mean,
now we know why she
she's
wasn't
arguing with both
Mitzi.
of you.
He's doing something to her.
Rich shows are plural abortions. Assaults against women. Let's talk about what we got here. What we've got basically is a setback. We've got a problem. Yeah, the problem is threatening me.
Okay, okay.
Now, here are my choices. Don't put a Mitzi song in the show this time, on the new show page. Okay, next. Find somebody new to do Mitzi. I got an idea. Been getting his wife.
How do you come up with all these ideas?
The roots of my brain. They that his wife does stuff for Disney. Does work for Disney. And what does she do exactly?
No, these are the freaks of your brain. I don't want to hear them.
Tell him now we're trying to decide here. It's important.
She dances, she does things like Monique, but there's a complete opposite.
Real cool.
Wonderful, real cool, you know, understands, you know how raunchy band guys can get, and you know, she doesn't really get raunchy, but she understands, laughs along with it, you know, real pretty, sings, and as a personality and understands people.
Understands studio business.
Dredgewood Scum Winch.
And understands this the way we are, and understands, you know, her husband's real creative. You know, Glenn does all kinds of stuff. And, hey, what took you so long? I go to think. Oh, hey, and I can call her and you know, John, Carol, Carol, my stomach.
Ashley.
Ashley, I got double problem. Well,
That's Sal's wife, and that's his little girl,
you know
Ashley,
what?
who's now something like 24.
20,
Oh, she's 26. She's 26.
We're right now.
So just give you a perspective.
I gave her potato chip, but I mean, I'm a little bitty potato chip.
it'll fit.
Can't give
I guess I better, maybe I can get KZ in there. Well, I'd rather KZ than, I'm sure KZ can do swiftly for us. KZ knows a little more about the doctor. If we want to change the you know, like she's got the will and the spirit. She understands what we're trying to do.
Just behave. And
I'm gonna rewind this a little bit just to catch something else that was in that tape. There was. Let's see, is it rewinding? Yeah. Okay. There might be a couple of other little things.
but up front tonight, they are allegedly dumping the mentally ill into nursing homes. Watch.
Can we use Daisy May's name? Murder Warren.
You want to change Flower's name to Daisy?
No. I want to call Flower, Flower. And then when we say, is that all? I want you to say, no, sometimes I call her
Myrtle Moron or Molly Pop Magamuffin.
Molly Pop Magamuffin. Sometimes I call her, when she doesn't come, I call her Molly Pop Magamuffin.
It's what you do.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
What does she really call her?
We're really having fun.
Call her Murder Warren, okay?
It's gonna really be a fun.
Flower's exceptionally intelligent, Daisy's the dumb one. But I can say that I call her Myrtle Moran.
Don't ask that question. What? Because you'll get an incomprehensible answer. Molly Pop, whatever you said.
Molly Pop Magamuffin.
I'm just saying, Molly Pop Magamuffin is the one I want. We'd have made it up, I'd want it. I like it. I don't care that there's a real Molly Pop Magamuffin.
We made it up.
Hag out muffin. Hag out, mag out. Gotcha.
Okay, then what?
Okay. Come here. Shit. Sometimes I call. I think it's sort of set up to repeat the name. What do you think? Sometimes I call her Molly Pop
I
Magamuffin.
don't know what they're up to now.
What?
Well, I could always say, sometimes I call Kitty, because they'll know it's Kitty, and
The reason why I don't like it is it's got too many syllables. I want one syllable per. Oh no, sometimes I call it. See, it sets up for a quote. Molly Pop Magamuffin! Come on. I like the way you do that. Come on. Yeah, come on.
They'll have to have one there.
This is like
Instead of
fine.
four
Yeah.
quotes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she's trying to write out exactly what we're asking for.
Up there, sir? That is.
Comma.
Up
It's
here?
funny.
Sometimes, oh, look at you.
It's kind of funny though
And they're really
that we, or that I'm showing you stuff that's really not exactly what the rock fire explosion is made of. It's almost so like Monique was an important part of the rock fire explosion, and that's why I'm showing you this. But also because it was sort of such a turning point for us. Let me see, to turn away from her and to go towards Shalisa. Now I have most of my tapes at the office, so let's see what I can find here though. Here's a rehearsal. Now I don't know what this is exactly. Remember, I haven't watched any of this stuff. Okay, so this might be a rehearsal for a might be a rehearsal for a porno. It sure might. But I'm just gonna scan through a few little items just to see if anything. I know there were a lot of funny stuff on this tape, but this tape is 6 hours long. Believe it or not, Travis and I. Carrie, you didn't sit through this with us, did you?
No.
With Travis?
No.
We sat here for 6 hours and watched the whole thing.
I was looking at cloth. No. Monica actually stuck in Here, let's give you a nostril at least. Can you take that last bit off now? I thought it was in good taste.
But see, we were trying
We're
to
staying on that
engage
importance.
her enthusiasm, try to have some fun with her, but she was on a different class. You know, obviously she was a very classy, sophisticated girl who was basically looking down her nose at us because we were some trashy, scummy kind of guys who basically were trying to get something out of her that wasn't her. Okay, now this one says rehearsal November 2nd. But I think it was a rehearsal for the Calendar Head show that we did. And by the way, the date on that Monique thing was February 26, 82. So I guess that kind of places when we found Mitzi. Let's see, no signal there, so let's rewind. Let's see.
Alright, folks, it's our spring clearance sale.
Well, let's rewind, yeah, and see what else, see what's next. Chuck E. Cheese dinner, Christmas '81 at Mom's.
Chuck E. Cheese? Are you
Riding
kidding?
home from Baton Rouge with Sal.
Baton Rouge? Not our way.
He disappeared again.
Who did we lose? Matt. He keeps disappearing on us. We'll have to do a head count before we leave here.
Well, yeah, you know, it's funny, you know, you should say, you know, we don't know what it's a rehearsal for.
You probably never did though.
When, you gotta realize how exciting it was to have been sort of an adult, sort of, and I have to use the word sort of, and then the video camera was invented. You know, I mean, you guys grew up with the video camera already having been invented. But man, when there was no such thing as video cameras, and then there was, it was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing because like what you could do with it all of a sudden. Yeah. There's Rick, the long hair.
Just the vocals on that real quick. I couldn't hear Rick at that time.
With no shirt on.
No shirt. Claus no shirt. We never wore shirts. I still don't, really. I mean, you know, unless I got the air conditioner crank.
And this is Calendar Head Telethon?
Yeah, this was the set. This was the set for the Calendar Head Telethon. There's Vinny, no shirt. Sal's got his shirt on.
Why don't you let Rick arrange it like he wants to arrange it? He asked to arrange it.
But it's like, what point does a shirt have? The only point a shirt had was it made you have to turn on the air conditioner. And we didn't have an air conditioner, so... It's like, do you want to be comfortable?
Before.
It's like, do you want to be comfortable, or...
Rick's tough.
We just didn't see what the point was. Girls had to wear shirts, but that was their problem.
Got an idea. On the absence
Yeah, here's your shirts.
solo,
And your tripod?
y'all come in with,
Benny played drums for us on the Abbey Road tape, and a few other things. Vinny was really heavily into drugs. It was really difficult to keep him on track. But he was super smart.
Is that a hot air balloon or a parachute?
Yeah, it's a parachute.
Okay, yeah.
I know you won't let me down.
How about
Okay.
down,
I get a peaceful, easy feeling. And I know you won't let me down.
It's perfect. We won't let me down. What are you singing there? I found the part. If you do that, I've got a good part. Okay. 3, 4.
I get a peaceful, easy feeling. And I know you won't let me down. 'Cause I'm already standing on the ground.
Okay, do the end there where it goes, I'm already standing. Keeps going, up at the end.
'Cause I'm already
Oh,
Duke,
yeah.
I heard some clash of the vocals with the chords that you just gave me. Are the chords that you just now gave me over here the same ones that play over those harmonies? The last line, 'cause I'm already singing on the ground. So I must be on the piano. The F sharp minor sounded like a clash.
'Cause I'm already standing.
Yeah, I'll go up with it. You gotta go up with it.
I believe I can hear Duke in that.
'Cause I'm
That's him. Yeah,
already standing on the ground.
Let's work out that end. Yes, I'm on. Yeah, the end, you know what?
I'll just rewind that to the beginning and see what's on the beginning of that. Then I'm gonna pull out this one. This one's this is This is labeled Sal, Claude, Air, Rick, Duke, Pool Party, August '82. Now I believe this is a pool party out at my pool, in my backyard, and that's 2 years after I moved into this house. So, if I recall correctly, we had some holes there. But that's only if I recall correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that you knew you were going to see some videotape with some holes on it, didn't you, Sean? Before the night was over, probably.
She had no problem with holes.
You know, I'm talking about holes like
She
garden
acts like a
hose.
hole every once in a while.
I'm just talking about garden hose. You know, because we had to sprinkle on the flowers with the garden hose. You know, we had hose at the party. You in trouble?
Whoever broke the ice with the puke story, I mean.
Now you gotta hang with the boys. You're hanging with the boys, you're gonna see some holes.
It doesn't get any worse than that.
I think that's okay.
Guess what this is? Look over here. Guess what this is? Hold this in. It's Mike Fry.
Same joke. It's that joke for
Don't smile. I like to go swimming. We like to go to movies.
Who wrote this song, just out of curiosity?
that group, QRB or something like that.
I thought it was somebody else, because it just seems like people they're just kind of throwing a little bit of everything in, just kind of making up as they're going.
Yeah.
We like to have
It just sounds very improvised.
And sing these songs for you. We like to play records and ride in a limo. We like to go bowling with fine young women. We like Paul McCartney and Disney too. But we don't like to snug and launch great bellies, do you? We like to have lots of fun and sing these songs for you. We like to turn on right out of this world. We like short dresses when they're on Gary. We like to skip school, break all the rules. But we don't like to study much, arithmetic, less a sig. We like to have lots of fun and sing these songs for you. La 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 la.
Oh, Billy Bob, change that.
What was it?
On the, it's all pro school when Billy Bob sings it.
Alright.
There ain't anything about cutting classes. It's like
Really? I thought we pretty much did it like that.
That's a good song. And
I've
now,
heard-
everybody, we'd like to do another good song. We'd like to do another good song. How about While You're Standing Up, Sal? Happy Together. Oh, While You're Standing Up. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do. Two. Picking it out. Let's go on stage in front of 200,000 people. And I'll try and pick it out while you try and make up some words to it. There'll be like 40% of people out there will know the words. Did you ever worry about that happening, Sal? Maybe your song Louisiana would be a big hit.
Check.
And you're the only one that won't know the words. Sal ain't even got no mind over
I
this.
think that happens. Rock stars get out there and forget the words.
Yeah.
Everybody else knows them.
Test.
Alice Cooper is talking about that in an interview. He said he couldn't think the life, what the first line of whatever song he's opening with. So he's pointing the microphone at the audience and got them to do
That'll
it.
do it.
And that's how he was talking about that in an interview.
Ready, dude? No, wait. I jumped on stage a new prophet, and I don't know how that's about it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, it's not programmed. It's supposed to be programmed. This ain't got the third bass like that. Yes, it does.
Oh, it's a Prophet 5 keyboard, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Yeah, look for that in my studio tomorrow.
Oh, those are cool. I suck at keyboards, but I love those little analog synthesizers.
Start off. Oh, that's so cool, baby. God. I'm not as good as I used to be. Imagine me and you, I do. Oh, I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, just a line, and you say you belong to me, and in my mind, imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Imagine me and you, and you and me. No matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the stars will be blue with all my life. Imagine me and you, and you. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together.
The Dog Whisperer.
In the beginning, I was called the Mexican guy who can walk a pack of dogs. Now, I'm the Dog Whisperer.
He's so successful, he's got a weekly National Geographic TV show with the same name.
I am the Dog Whisperer.
But don't expect this happy handler to just speak softly in the ears of a playful Pomeranian or rambunctious Rottweiler.
It's all energy, body language. I immediately get a picture to what that dog needs, and I execute the picture.
Milan proudly proclaims he has a gift which makes all this possible. A gift he's had his entire life.
I think I was born with this innate ability to understand and connect and eventually rehabilitate dogs that have developed psychological problems. It was already in me, the desire to be 24 hours, 7 days a week with dogs, more than being with people. And so, at some point in my life, I was the outcast.
But when Milan moved from Mexico to the States, he went from outcast to insider, eventually creating a celebrity client list of pampered pooches and their A-list owners.
I wanted to be an Oprah because when I saw her for the first time making a mistake.
Looking forward to our multiple projects. We did Rock Fire Explosion, and we did the Hard Rock Band. What will those crazy Barnacles do next? And if the Hard Rock Band burns out, we'll be coming up with the next thing. And it'll be what we'll design as an improvement of what we do in the Hard Rock Band, no matter how good it is.
Animated Barry Manilow. I think it's a great idea. I think a lot of people don't get the hard rock music at all.
That's the problem. This project's going to take 2 years, and I think that is a major problem.
Now that tree is right where we had the ribs
Not
tonight.
completely.
2 years from now?
No.
2 years from now, you're going to predict that Hard Rock will be strong in 2 years?
Yeah. It'll always be. Well, but all it is hard rock. It's abrasive music, medium music.
You got what rock and roll. You just keep it in. Puberty and hard rock and roll?
Yeah, I think so. Adolescent thing. I think adolescent thing.
That thing over there, let's get a look at that man.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't called hard rock. Hard rock's burned out from the 60s, but it will be an abrasive sort of tough sounding. What do you call it? Okay, heavy metal. That kind of metal. It's probably
Same diving board, same
heavy metal. I know. This is Geraldo Quadera. Because it's like Aaron said, abrasive and tough sounding. And same reason they like fast cars, and the same reason they like to jock out and smoke cigarettes in the bathroom, because they want to show their fucking shit when they're young.
And not only that, when you're young, you don't want to hear anything that's going to make you feel tired. You know?
I'll make
you want to hear
you
something
hard.
that's going to get you going.
Yeah, but maybe it's the next thing after hard rock that has the same feeling of hard rock, but isn't hard rock. It has that, God damn it, I finally reached puberty and where's my first fuck feel. But it might not be hard rock.
What, you're saying in a couple years?
Yeah. It might be a derivation of hard rock. And hard rock in itself may be old hat. Just like 50s rock and roll.
The 50 rock and roll thing was abrasive in those days.
Right.
It was tough sounding and it was different and it was rough and tough. Everything else was, how much is the dog in the door? You know? And they came out with rock and roll, man. It was real gritty sounding, careless, balls to the wall sort of feel, and young people like that.
Yeah. This guy has done an unbelievable amount of thought. Unbelievable. Promotion computers, dues and subscriptions, etc. Friday morning quarterback, billboard, catchbox, feedback, Bobby Clothes, Bill Hart. Travel and entertainment, legal costs, accounting costs, insurance, hospitalization, insurances, touring equipment, buses, auto lease, California, vehicle for apartment in LA, probably should be van or station license, taxes, property, taxes, wages, FICA, FICA, withholding, Duca, etc. Office incidental, telephone, office stationery, postage, answering service, printing, forms, utilities, equipment leases, desks, furnishings, copy machines, telex, etc. Key man insurance.
What's key man insurance?
That's where the most important man in the company is insured. His life is insured for like $1 million. So that if he dies, the project will get $1 million anyway.
Hey, we're into it, Tracy.
Model construction, scale model necessary for advanced licensing and endorsement. You know, he's really got it down. When this organization is built, we will be able to release records on our own label through a major recording company without the subjective evaluation by that company of our musical product. The only money which is not included in this figure is major label reserves for pressing and distribution of our product. The only thing he hadn't included is label reserves for pressing and distribution of our product. God, I wouldn't be thinking about that at this juncture at all. I mean, you know, I think maybe it's gone overboard. This will cost approximately 70 cents per LP and will be required to pay $250,000 to $300,000 in advance. This is the time to think about it.
What?
Says it may require $250,000 to $300,000 in advance. God, what kind of project is he going to do? This money will be worked against until we have depleted it. Then we will be billed as we ship. Each LP which we manufacture and release will cost approximately $100,000 to record, $50,000 per single to indicate promotion, up to $150,000 for trade and consumer advertising, depending on the chart strength of the album. We will employ and raise money from an independent booking agency or single promoter, a la Beatlemania, Bill Graham Presents, or ICM, for example. Random notes agenda. Pre-release licensing for ancillary income.
I'm not quite sure
It's been glamour.
what that is. I have no idea. I don't remember anything about what that is or what we were talking about. I can't even, I was trying to get a picture of it. I might have to go back and watch that later, watch from the beginning and see what that was. But we were definitely interested in marketing of records. You know, we were looking into the possibilities of marketing and distribution of records. And probably had something to do with our research. I'll fast forward and see if anything interesting on this tape.
say it's too bad Big Engineering wasn't running the whole thing. What's the case in point for this?
Well, that's Rick and Kathy Cross.
Oh, originally,
or Kathy Norman. And Sal. Now, Kathy Norman was, y'all might know the story. Kathy Norman was my girlfriend. She was a programmer. And then Rick, the first Kathy Norman.
Well, tell me if we got you right here.
And Rick and Kathy were messing around behind my back for like a year. And I was the only one in the company that didn't know about it. And when I found out about it, I said, Rick, how am I ever going to trust you again? He says, you can't. So I said, okay, well, now that I know that, I guess we'll just keep going, move forward. And for all years, if I went back and checked the date on that and look at this, I'd go back, they were sitting awful close on that particular day too, and I didn't even quite know what was going on there. It's too bad Rick couldn't be here to explain that one to us. Rick, do you remember anything about that? Let's fast forward and check to see what else I have. This one just has a number on it. This is yours, Carrie. Did you bring me this one? Rock Fire Explosion Miscellaneous?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
Are those shows?
Those are just like show tapes that someone copied for me, and like footage from like different Showbiz restaurants, and probably footage from Looney Birds, and stuff like that.
I want to watch that one with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll see
And
that.
there's Uncle Clunk footage on there, and Santa Claus footage on there as well.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting.
No, did everybody get a Santa Claus at Showbiz?
Monday on Fox at 5.
I swear, I knew nothing of Clunk until I found Travis's website. And I went pretty regularly. I can actually tell you what show tapes I did and did not see. And I don't know how I missed Santa or Clunk.
You never saw the Christmas show tape that had...
I didn't see the Clunk robot, like either Santa or Clunk, and he was around for like a whole year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Did he rotate around, or
Yeah.
how did that work? I don't know how I missed it.
Yeah, we built like 40 of them. And they went around to the different restaurants.
I figure it must be how it worked. I don't know how I missed Clunk. I didn't even know he existed. I missed the Santa Claus robot, because...
And that, of course, was Clunk dressed as Santa Claus.
Yeah. So I missed out on all that. And I
new
don't know how...
mask.
I missed the Statue of Liberty, though, too. I know y'all didn't have anything to do with that. That was like...
Well, we did the tape.
You did the tape?
Uh-huh.
Well, it seems like there's two versions. Like, there's one without the statue. Maybe that was done, like, after, maybe y'all did that after the fact and just cut the statue part.
Gosh, I can't remember what happened, why there would be...
Do you know if a store did a Santa Claus, did they do a clock, or did they?
Probably. If they had a Santa Claus, then they probably, after after Christmas, probably turned him back into Clunk.
Yeah. Well, I know they did some stores, because that came out the same time as 83. They had Country 2, and then they had the Country Clunk tape, and it's basically the same show. They just had Clunk doing some of the songs.
It's really just for formality purposes. We don't we don't wonder how things are going to come out. And it says here, an annual shareholders meeting with Creative Engineering Incorporated will be held at the corporate offices at 47 West Jefferson Street, Orlando, Florida, at 5 p.m. on Thursday, September 9th, for the purpose of electing the director and for the purpose of reviewing our progress during the preceding fiscal year. The status of our contract is
Well, I guess this would officially be a board meeting.
We hope you will be present. But if necessary, you may assign your property as indicated.
It's probably my idea of a board meeting.
For all my shares somewhere else.
You got 2 a year.
I authorize somebody.
Also,
something like that.
Trying to, yeah. But there was another part. It must be on some other tapes that I've got somewhere, maybe with some personal stuff instead of in this box. There was other tapes. Now this tape here is labeled Diary 1982. 82 was a really rough year for me because that was when creative engineering was just, to me, a massive problem. But it was lots of stuff going on, obviously, that year. Lots of stuff, making probably over 100 shows, and lots of, well, everybody fighting, everybody having problems.
Was it you want to know how many showbiz there were?
Yeah, I know in I know in the Clunk show tape it says there are 89. How many showbizes were there total? Ballpark. I mean, not
Before Chuck E. Cheese.
before Chuck E. Cheese wiped them out and said they're all the Rockfire guys are going to become Chucky.
Okay.
We've been trying to figure out how many Rockafires actually.
Creative engineering as a whole made over 200
Okay, well,
shows.
200. Yeah, we did 280 shows.
Yeah, okay. I remember you saying that on the board recently. 200
of those shows ended up in Showbiz Pizza Place.
Okay, so they're basically, and you've got, what do you say, 10, 15 left?
No, not even. Maybe 5 or 6.
Oh, really? Okay, so.
Because he just sold 3.
So basically, you've sold at least 3 to fans. So you basically had like 70 other places.
Yeah, and really, I've sold 4 to fans. You know, no one knows about the last one.
Okay.
Which I sold to Chris Thrash because I sold it to him on layaway.
Okay.
But because I didn't know if he was going to actually finish his payments, but he's more than half paid for it now.
Chris, Vega, and then somebody else. But we
Steve Morris bought 2 of them.
Steve did. Okay, so that's why he's so into making this stuff.
I know. I am so kicking myself. If I had known.
But he really wants to. He really wants to make animation. He wants to go further than just make the
And
masks.
he's local here.
Uh-huh. He wants to go further. He wants to actually take my designs from the Midgens, you know, the new Rockfire designs, and create new animatronics out of it. So he'd really like to start animatronics, making animatronics.
Yeah.
I don't really want to start up making animatronics again. You know, why would I do that? I already did that. You know, I went through the whole process. I know where it goes. I know what it's like. You know, I know what a hassle it is. You know, I know what it's like to suddenly be 30 years older and wonder what the fuck I was doing for 30 years. Don't need to do it again. But he wants to do it. And so, you know, I'm trying to help him. I'm trying to keep a part of it. I'm trying to keep the technology. I don't want to just give away the technology either. To me, that's what I've got. It's still worth something. So if there's any value in it, then I want to manage it in some way to where it's of some value to me. If I were independently wealthy, which I'm not, if I were independently wealthy, I think the story would be a little different. But probably the way the story would be if I were independently wealthy is that I'm probably doing something way different. And I'd probably be developing real estate or something. You know, and I'd be busy. I'd be way too busy. And I'd help you guys get in touch with each other, but I probably wouldn't have time to fuck with it.
Yeah.
But as it is, though, I have a soft place in my heart for it. And I have a soft place in my heart for all this stuff. You know, and I'm trying to figure it out. You know, I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, you know, what did it all mean? You know, who are my friends really? You know, when I watch these things, I'm wondering, why isn't Claude my friend anymore? You know, what happened? Why isn't Claude my friend? You know how we joked around? We always farting around. You can see it on the tapes. Tape after tape after tape. We fart around with each other. We make fun of each other. We joke around with each other. But as soon as they're not on my payroll anymore, it's like for some reason it's not the old gang anymore. Rick is a little different, though. You see, Rick and Shalisa, Shalisa was never on my payroll. Shalisa was just, you know, hired help, basically. She came in, she did her parts, she got paid. But she really enjoyed it. She enjoyed it from the standpoint of our friendship. Bub and I feel like we created something together. You know, we really do. We felt like we created something together. But, you know, I look at this and I wonder, now, what happened to Claude? Like, the last time I saw Claude, I kind of made fun of him for being a celebrity, because he's now a celebrity.
Yeah, he was on Monster Midday too, wasn't he?
Yeah, so I made fun of him a little bit. Like, what I did was, I'll tell you specifically what I did. We were driving down the street. He was giving me a ride to my parents' house because he had locked the door on the Jefferson building as we were outside. He locked us out. And so he says, well, what can I do to make up for this problem? And I said, well, you could give me a ride to my parents' house and we can get a key. And says, okay. Like, he didn't really want to do it. But I thought, well, this will be fun, you know. So I get in Claude's car, and we're driving to my parents' house, and I'm yelling out the window. Nobody could hear me, but I'm yelling out the window, hey, I'm driving in the car with Jeff Howell! I'm in the car with Jeff Howell! You know, kind of like, you know, a nerd who's with some kind of a celebrity. And I don't think he took it right. I think it really embarrassed him. And then I was reading on his biography on his web. He's got a website, jeffhowell.com. And I was reading on his website what he's done in his life. and he didn't even mention anything that we'd
Wow.
done. Not a thing. He didn't mention. I was like, that didn't happen. His website was, he grew up in the streets of New Orleans and in this bluesy environment and developed his Bruce Springsteen style, performing skills, in the streets of the city. So I thought, well, what about your comedy? What about your comedy? What about your stint with Clutch? I think he did mention Clutch. But I was trying to figure out what happened to us. So I'm still trying to figure out what happened, with everything. Why it all happened. What happened with Showbiz? What happened with Chuck E. Cheese? I don't really know.
Chuck E. Cheese I can explain. And you notice there's one character that stayed in the show when they converted to Chuck E. Cheese, and that was the Moon.
Really?
I'm convinced he is the fall guy.
The Moon?
Yeah, they kept the Moon. They changed the sun over it because, they did like a skyscraper line. And the sun became a building, but they kept the Moon mask. I mean, he doesn't really...
Oh, okay, so they actually kept the Moon mask. So he's the only thing that actually survived, huh?
Exactly. Choo-Choo became a baby munch. That's the purple guy that became Fats. And what'd they do with the spider, Damon?
Spider was gone.
Spider was the wink, the little thing that winks at the end.
Well, they had to get rid of any of our copyrighted characters.
Yeah. And then Looney Bird became a pizza camera, and they didn't use Billy Bob.
Well, you mean didn't use the frame?
They didn't use the frame. That was the one thing they didn't utilize. But yeah, I wrote up this big conspiracy. I'm really bored. I wrote this huge conspiracy theory on showbizpizza.com one day about how the Moon took over and got the Rockefeller out of a job.
Huh.
That's one funny. You and Jen were arguing back and forth with. Al had an interview.
Oh yeah, the little owl that disappeared that used to be on Duke's platform, and he was cool. I can't believe that I don't know what happened to him, but the early show had him. But yeah.
It might have been just a economic cut.
Yeah. Well, there's the original background for the first version of Rockefeller had a lot of extra stuff, and I'm sure background was really elaborate to reproduce. But yeah, I like that little owl though. I wish he'd stayed in the show.
Probably was something like that, just an economics decision.
But Jen included owl in it. But my whole thing is it's got to be the Moon, and the moon sold everybody out to the rat.
Uh-huh.
And
is Sean okay, or is she just going to take a nap?
Probably that.
Yeah, because I can't imagine you guys even still being awake.
I got up at 4:30 this morning. I couldn't go back to bed, so I checked emails up till my mom called me at 5:30.
Huh.
He's actually talking about this. I'm sure you know if you look at it, but...
Oh, yeah. I mean, gosh, I haven't seen that guy in millions of years.
I've only seen him in the prototype picture.
We might have made one of him.
Yeah.
We just went crazy with the design, and then we had to decide what stayed and what went.
I mean, look at this. He's bling bling.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Who are you talking about, Duke?
Fats. He's got rings on his
Oh,
fingers.
is he bling bling?
Yeah.
Oh, sure enough. Does he have an extra finger? No, he's got 5 fingers on his hand. I remember when Fats had ears though.
Yeah, he would have had them in there.
I never noticed the textures of the rock though, where it says Rockefeller. No, I've seen the sign faces.
This is probably the original.
Yeah.
Prototype, at least.
Uh-huh.
One of the originals.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked Dave to tone down those eyebrows, the wrinkles in the forehead, because I thought they were a little severe.
Yeah, Billy Bob, he's got kind of these eyebrows. He's got kind of, I don't know how to describe the facial expression, but it's on all the, on all the 45 covers. I was really glad to see those go.
Yeah, Dave drew lots of detail, and he sculpted lots of detail. What was funny is when he used to sculpt the character bodies, like when he sculpted the bodies for the elves, for the Santa show, out of foam.
How the heck did you do that for the characters, like Fats? Did you have to sculpt the whole?
Well, in the early days, we sculpted it out of foam, and then laid up fiberglass over top of it. But then, then we covered it with fur, and it was like Dave put all these muscles and details and veins, all covered with fur.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, loved veins. Loved veins and muscles. Just so much detail, it was ridiculous. And it never showed.
Yeah. You always know as fast as got the facts on his fiberglass.
I've noticed that every used Mitzi I've ever seen is missing her breasts. I don't know why that is. I have never found a used Mitzi that has latex breasts.
It's the dog guy. No, it's not. I thought that was the dog guy somewhere. Okay.
Would Sean go to bed?
No, she's out there with Matt.
Where? Yeah, what happened to Matt?
He's out there. They're at the pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Main in the pool, are they?
Was she really concerned about what I might have on videotape?
I don't know. I doubt it.
I doubt that. I mean, you know, because
Yeah.
you never know, though.
She just didn't want to be impolite
We're
and
the
fall
obs-
asleep in here.
We're the obsessive compulsives in here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I totally understand. In fact, I'd rather anybody who's bored just lay down and take a nap, because I don't want to really bore anybody with anything. If anything is boring, you guys have to let me know.
Oh no, this is like all fascinating to us.
I'm
We're
just
like,
pulling out crap, you know.
Now for the Buffalo Gals.